Buongiorno everybody, welcome to Misano here in Italy for the second round of the Ferrari European Challenge Championship. I have to say I'm really excited to be here. Good prospects going into this weekend. We was here for a test day a couple of weeks back, showing really strong pace, and obviously you know, the pace was proven at Valencia, so yeah, we're looking to go one better here this weekend. I'm about to go out for my first session in about 15 minutes time, so like always, leave it to the last minute. I've got to make sure that I get ready soon, but yeah, of course, as always, I'll keep you updated throughout the day and yeah, just discuss my plans with you. So like every practice day, it's all about just getting reacquainted with your equipment and obviously your surroundings, being the track. Obviously I've not done too much time in either or, but yeah, I'm sure we can get up to speed really quickly. Got a set of brake pads in first thing this morning, and apart from that, it's flat out. One thing I will say about this weekend, which is already going really well, is that I've had a bit of a lie-in. We're not out until about 11 o'clock Italian time, so I've had a nice lie-in, which I've not had for ages. Lots of uni work been going on, but yeah, finally got a nice bit of rest, ready for the most important day in quite a long time, so look forward to it. So, what better way to get acquainted with the track here in Misano with an onboard lap of yours truly, commentated by yours truly. So on entry to turn 1, we're going to use this curb on the left, dive for the apex, just about missing the sleeping policeman. The yellow blocks on the ground for both corners, really disrupts the car. Going into turn 3, flat out over the curb and making sure you let the car run out and use the exit curbing. For these next 2 corners, you've got to use as much curb as possible because there's a lot of banking, which really helps keep it tight. For this next 90 left here, which really sets you up for the straight. Don't run too wide, however. That's where they were really hot on track limits that weekend, so don't go too wide. Spotting the 100-meter board and braking as late as we can. ABS kicking in somewhat, taking a little bit of curb, staying in 4th just to make sure we get that good traction. Don't go wide there as well because of the track limits. Next corner coming up is arguably the most important. This hairpin leads onto the long back straight, so it's very important to get as much speed coming out of there as possible. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content like this. It really helps the channel out and it does mean a lot to me. Now going into the 3rd sector, it's my favourite sector because of how fast it is. Going into this corner here, using little curb on entry, letting the car drift wide and then mounting this curb at about 130 miles an hour, using this entry curb here, and then into this hairpin, using a bit more curb to rotate the car, into this fast left sweeper. This was my particular favourite corner on the track, and then letting it run wide and turning on the green to hit the apex on the last corner. Don't run too wide on the last corner, otherwise you'll get another track limits warning, and that completes a lap of Misano. So, ladies and gents, that's we're halfway through the first practice session currently. We've just come in because we were changing some tyres around and then we need to refuel, so I can't be in the car whilst they refuel. They just need to take it to a petrol station, which is like on site, and yeah, so far pretty good promise. We went some pretty good lap tyre towards the end there, and putting a pretty decent lap, I thought. We're just picking up where we left off, and we're currently P2 on the board, which is you know, it's a good start so far. So yeah, hope to be continuing this sort of form for the rest of the afternoon. We're just going to keep, you know, building up to it as it goes, just for me to get my eye in, obviously. And yeah, good stuff so far. And yeah, if I ever get the chance to, I'll be sure to keep you all updated. Sorry, no. Returning to this track is it's just made me remember why I love it so much. It's an awesome flowing track, and it's quick as well. There was actually a red flag halfway through the session because a car going into turn 12, I believe, I literally saw him spin as I was coming out the following hairpin, and yeah, he got beached in the gravel, and that meant we lost a fair amount of time in our practice session, but we accounted for that. We knew something like this was going to happen, so yeah, still on schedule. So to end out free practice 1, we just went a little bit better tyre, nothing crazy, and we just set about me getting into the groove a little bit more. So that's the first free practice of the day done. pretty good. We're sitting in P2, which was nice, only a couple tenths off of the fastest. Overall, car feels absolutely on point, a lot better than it did in Valencia. Yeah, we've really cracked the setup this time around and got a lot of confidence in the car, which is allowing me to push really, really hard. So, no, very grateful for that. And yeah, it's just been a great day so far. You know, rebuilding my confidence after last time and just settling to everything once again. But yeah, apart from that, we're going to go into the next session after a bit of lunch. We're going into the next session with two new sets of new tyre, and then we're going to go for some quali runs. So that's when our best pace is going to be shown. So we've got more in the tank, and we'll see how we get on. So, free practice 2 was spent doing qualifying simulations, meaning we put in as fast time as we possibly can. Coming on to this lap here, we're actually quite a way up on our current best time on the Delta, and this means we could go top of the board, but we're coming across a little bit of lap traffic here, and he squeezes very tight to the inside, and as you can see, I lost the car, and I can assure you I was not happy about that. He's paid no attention to the people around him. He's tried to get out of the way, always missed the apex by a mile, and almost collected me in the process. So yeah, that was therefore the end of our practice session, and couldn't help but feeling that we left a little bit on the table. Not to our own fault, of course. So that's free practice done for the day. Some really good things to take out of that experience. I'm sure you'll be able to see, but we got really impeded on our best lap. Really, we went purple on that lap, and we got held up quite badly. Almost made contact. I've had to change of pants since. So yeah, apart from that, it's been an awesome day. We've been really close to the guys up the front. You know, and we're just looking through the data now, just being able to see if we weren't to be impeded, if we could have gone top in practice. I think we could have done, definitely. So yeah, overall, an amazing day, another day in the right direction. Really happy with the outcome, and yeah, go on tomorrow knowing that we've got all the speed in the world. It is race day, sports fans. We're going into the first qualifying session of the weekend here on Saturday, and yeah, we're just going to see how it goes. We're sort of expecting to be in the top 3. I think that would be a decent result going into this. We showed some really strong pace, so top 3 as a minimum would be what we'd be expecting going into this. We spent quite a few laps trying to just build enough pressure and temperature into the tyres, because the curb striking around here can be pretty lethal because of how fast we're going. But once we got the tyres up to temperature, we put in a decent respective time of a 35.2 just as a banker to make sure we've got a time on the grid. Going into the third sector on this lap, however, we're really far up on our time, and we could potentially go for pole. You can see I'm quite ragged because I'm on the very edge of grip, and coming into the penultimate corner here, setting up for the last corner, there's a bit of a slow car in the way, and oh my god, yeah, he's held us up quite drastically there. No surprise that it's the current pole sitter, so yeah, he's done the exact same thing as he did in Valencia. I was pretty annoyed at that, but yeah, P2 was a decent result. So that was the end of the qualifying session here on Saturday. We're on the front row at least, we're P2. It was a bit of a shame though, I'm sure I can chuck our onboard there. We did get held up on our best lap, which potentially could have put us in for pole. We did try and appeal it, of course, but yeah, to no avail. We're starting on the front row. It's the best qualifying we've had so far this season, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to the race. Obviously my sort of strength lies with managing the tyres and the race, so yeah, I feel like we can definitely put pressure on the leader going into this race and maybe come out with a win, but we'll have to see. So we're about to get underway for the first race of the weekend here on Saturday. Starting from P2 on the front row of the grid. We've got to see if we can try and make something happen in those early laps. I feel like in terms of a race distance, we've got the edge. You know, just the consistency is a little bit better on our side. So yeah, we'll try and use that to our advantage by looking after the car, making sure we can complete the fastest race possible. But yeah, should be a good one. So a few hours later after qualifying, it was time to go racing. I was really looking forward to this, but at the same time I was a little bit nervous, of course, you know, starting on the front row for the first time. At least I was able to see the lights on the gantry, as you can see there. I couldn't see them in Valencia because I was either so far back or I was tucked up somebody's rear wing. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. Hopefully we can get a podium out of this one. I think it'd be really good points, and maybe even a win. But either way, it's vital that we keep into this position at the start. It is lights out and away we go here in Misano for the first sprint race of the weekend. Really trying to hang on to P2 as much as we can. We got a pretty poor start because the turbo wasn't spooling up correctly because of my throttle inputs, but going around here we've left the door open going into turn 3 and we can't turn in on the guy, so he's got the inside going into the next corner and we've been relegated on lap 1 straight away into P3. Absolute disaster. Wasn't planning for this. Really wanted to hold on to P2 like I said, so we're just going to have to chip away at it and make sure we can stick with these guys as much as possible. But in the back here you may have been able to see there's a big accident. One of the cars at the back of the Pro-Am drivers has had an absolute monster shunt which has brought out the safety car, and as you can see here on the left hand side, yeah, the medical crew managed to get to him and he was alright, but I don't think his car was. So here we are now, we're on the safety car restart and the leader's playing a little bit of mind games, but we've managed to clock onto him pretty quickly, and we're trying to make sure that we can get into P2 as quickly as possible and make an attempt at hunting down the leader. We've had a really good restart actually. We seem to have a similar level of grip straight away, and we're going to try and pressure him into making a mistake, or we could just go for a Monty lunge, which I'm already thinking about doing this stage of the race. The race hadn't gone to plan at this point, so I was acting a little bit desperate in wanting to get by him as soon as I possibly could. Speaking of which, only a couple laps later we're going into turn 4 and 5 once again where he overtook us, and we're going to try and set him up down this middle straight here. We've got an awesome exit. We rode the curve really nicely through turn 6 there. We're right up his gearbox, getting all the benefits of the slipstream. I'm just going to poke my nose out and send it straight up the inside. Thank you very much. Doesn't matter if we're a car length behind, and force him a little bit wide there. Doesn't really matter too much. He's not lost out because of it. And yeah, we've gained the position. Awesome stuff into P2. The leader, as you may have been able to see, is a little bit far in the distance at this point, but we're going to make sure we can put some quali laps in to build the gap up behind us and see if we can catch him. So over the rest of the race distance, we just thought about chipping away and making sure we could complete the race as fast as possible. That little black speck in the distance is the car ahead, and as you can see we're taking quite a decent amount of time out of him every single lap, and we're getting onto the last lap here. We've caught up to him massively. You know, the gap was about 4 seconds. Now it's down to just 9/10 if I'm not mistaken. Going on to this last lap here, we've really got this pace on the last lap, but it's all come a little bit too late. Yeah, we're not able to put enough pressure onto him. Maybe if we had one lap, the car was feeling really good, we would have been able to have him, but it's P2. I've got to say, I wasn't actually too happy with the result, simply because I made a mistake on the first lap and dropped us down to P3, which cost me so much time. But as we got onto the podium, I think there was another twist to the tale.
We interrupt the highlights because whilst you've been enjoying the highlights, an awful lot has been going on and things have been changing, Nico. And the latest update that we have is that the order has changed in terms of Trofeo Pirelli because Alessio Dono picked up a time penalty, which means that Tom Fleming gets the race win, not Alessio Dono, and Joseph about taking P2.
So yes, you have indeed heard correctly. The lead on the last lap got a 5-second time penalty for breaching track limits. It means we've claimed our first ever Ferrari European Challenge victory. I hadn't expected it coming so early, simply because I'm a rookie to the championship and car racing in general. So to get this win in the pro class was amazing, an unbelievable feeling. So yeah, still at a loss for words. What an amazing day. Words really can't describe how I'm feeling right now. This is a couple hours currently after the race, and just I couldn't really record straight away because I was just in such disbelief. We drove an amazing race. The only fault I had was probably at the start, not muscling P3 out the way, which eventually relegated me to P3, but I got him back. But yeah, incredible, absolutely incredible. It means so much to me to win here. Obviously, congratulations to the team and all my sponsors, you know, and my family as well, because they believed in me and they believed I could do it. So yeah, to have the race in progress that we've got, it's an amazing feeling, and yeah, nice to break the duck, as it were, get my first win. So yeah, we come back tomorrow on Sunday to do it all again. Let's see if we can make it a bit more straightforward this time. But yeah, anyway, I'll keep you updated as always, guys, and yeah, that's it for Saturday. Awesome result. It is race day once again, sports fans. Sunday here today. We're just about to go out for qualifying. As you can see, the guys, the old mechanics are getting the car ready. We're going to see if we can go front row once again. Most likely we're going to try and aim for pole position, of course. Obviously still feel a little bit robbed of yesterday's qualifying performance, but we move on. But yeah, all focus is in making sure that we can get at least onto the front row for this race in this afternoon on Sunday. So all focus is going to be put on making sure we can get to the front row as a minimum, so we can start P1 or P2 for the sprint race today on Sunday. So yeah, let's go get them. Jumping straight into qualifying, our plan going into this session was to at least once again get top 2 and start in the front row, because we knew that our game plan going into the race was going to work pretty well. So we just set about building some heat into the tyres and going for it. But as we built up to a flying lap here, as you can see on the right hand side, there's a car that's mysteriously parked on the right hand side there, and it's actually brought out the red flag. We completed the lap after, you know, despite being held up quite considerably, and did a 35.1, which is a decent time. But yeah, the red flag was swiftly brought out after that, and we had to come through the pits, but the car was recovered in time. So as you can see, we're going through the pits here. We literally go straight back out, which was really awkward. I've never experienced anything like that before. But as we've not set a competitive time yet, we've got one lap left in the session to get enough heat in the tyres and then go for a flying lap. So I'm trying to sort out track position here. As you can see, we've just about missed that car in front of us. They abruptly broke, and I've no idea why. But yeah, we're preparing for our lap here, getting enough heat into the tyres, because obviously we lost a lot of tyre temperature during the red flag, and we're just going to absolutely send it on this lap within reason. You can sort of see here the minimum speed on new tyre isn't as good as it was yesterday, simply because we didn't have as much grip in the tyre, but we come across the line to do a 34.6, only 2/10 off of the pole time. We'll definitely take that. P2 on the board once again, and looking good for the race. So P2 in qualifying 2 here on Sunday. Yeah, not a bad result. We'll definitely take that. We're quite close. Unfortunately, we got screwed over a little bit by the red flag coming in, and we had to go through the pits, which lost all of our tyre temp, and that cost us a couple runs of fuel as well. So yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't the ideal lap, but we were only 2/10 off. So I know if we had a more optimised sort of tyre temperature window, we could have definitely been challenged a little bit closer for pole. But you know, we've shown we can catch up to the leader. We've got really good race pace. I'm sure we can do the same here today. Just got to make sure don't get overtaken at the start. So yeah, got to make sure that we hold on to P2 by all means necessary, that we can crack on and focus on our race and our race only. But yeah, let's go for it. Another day, another sprint race. Really looking forward to this one. We're going to see if we can hold on to P2 at the start and, you know, sort of learn off of my mistakes from last time out. We know going into this race, based off of Saturday's performance, our race pace looks really good. So, you know, as long as we keep into P2 and decent touching distance with the leader, we've got a good chance that we can challenge for the win here. So, yeah, got to make sure that we can focus up and make no mistakes during the race. It's lights out once again this weekend for the second time. Again, not a brilliant start by any means. We lost out considerable ground to the leader. And now we're having to defend from the guys behind us. But crucially, we've held on to P2 in the race, and that means that we can sort of focus on putting pressure on the leader and yeah, just chipping away at him. It's a long sprint race. 30 minutes is a lot of time to get what you need to do done. We're just going to focus on managing the car, the tyres, the brakes, etc. and yeah, see if we can put some pressure on later in the race. Unfortunately, a couple laps later, he's actually broken away quite considerably. He must have a decent amount more grip at this stage of the race. But over the next couple of laps, we did what we did in the first race by, sort of just chipping away ever so slightly. And as you can see, that black dot in the distance is just getting a little bit closer, lap by lap. And we get closer to the end of the race. As you can see, he's really, really close. We hop onto lap 16 here, where we're going, well, with the closest we have been all race. We're heading onto the back straight here, and you can see his car's a little bit nervous on the rear end, which tells me that he's used up most of his rear tyres now. And because this track is very predominantly focused on using rear tyres, for a possible win here. But going into this corner, he's locked up and he's gone straight into the wall. I honestly couldn't believe it when I saw it first. He's locked up and headed for the barrier. It must have been some sort of failure, but I couldn't help but feel that the pressure we were sort of mounting on him after closing the gap up once again has sort of forced him into a mistake of some sort. As you can see here, braking on the rumble strip, and just sent him straight on. He's had a lock up, couldn't slow down, and into the gravel trap he goes. The accident, to no surprise, has brought out the safety car, whilst also giving us the race lead. And yeah, we didn't know whether or not the race would finish under safety car, so I sort of made it my mission to go as slow as possible to make sure the race did finish under safety car, in which it did, as we come into the last corner here to cross the line to claim our second Ferrari European Challenge victory within the same weekend. Absolutely unbelievable result. Get in there. Although the win last time out was pretty nice, to come across the line in P1 and claim the P1 spot was pretty special. It definitely triumphs the Saturday effort.
FF Course team as well. Right, come on the roof of the car, Tom. Come on. Nearly. Yeah, just one more step, Tom. Oh, I'll have a word with him about that, Well done, Tom.
So, as you probably could tell, and don't blame me as well, I was pretty gassed at this point, to be honest. Extremely excitable, because we've just won 2 races in the same weekend. We've closed the points haul in terms of the championship, and we've made it a lot closer. Yeah, just unbelievable. Awesome performance by myself and the team all weekend, and we've come out on top.
Pretty happy with that, National anthem time.
What an amazing weekend we've had. My word, words literally cannot describe how I'm feeling right now. To take 2 wins out of 2 during the your second race in the championship like this is so special. During the race, I knew Dono would break away and build quite a substantial lead pretty early on. That's just what he does. But I then slowly chipped away whilst he was making the odd mistake or two, and applied some real pressure on him. And yeah, we ended up getting him. I think he may have had some sort of failure, but either way, we definitely had more speed towards the end of the race, and we would have passed him either way. So yeah, amazing to be standing here winning both races this weekend. It's just incredible. So thank you to everyone that supported me throughout all my years in racing. It just means the world to me. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. It's definitely not been a dull one. Yeah, please make sure you like, subscribe and share, and also comment. And I'll see you next time out in Austria, Spielberg. So take care, and I'll see you later.